Hi, this is Zak Mir with US Chartbreakers here at zakstraderscafe.com for Wednesday, the 26th of June. Starting off with the S&P, and here, even though the Dow sort of fell relatively sharply yesterday, the S&P holding quite firm. The old resistance here around 55.50, and we're staying above that, and while we're above that, looking for as high as 5,700 by the end of next month. Yes, it looks that encouraging at the moment. On the downside, the last gap there around 53.80, and that's the risk that we probably have to contend with. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and here, I suppose there's a bit of an NVIDIA story here, but so far the market has remained within that steeper rising trend channel, the floor that one there from back in April, around 19,400, and above that looking for up to 20,900 by the end of next month. Obviously, we have the old channel there from back in the end of last summer, heading towards 20,100. If we do break down the old gap there from earlier in the month, 19,200, the favored destination, but not expecting anything worse than that at this stage. Moving on to the stocks, and starting off with Bit Digital, which has perked up quite nicely, left an abandoned baby, so a gap down and then a gap up on consecutive days. That should be a strong signal. It already has been a strong signal, but at the top of the channel here, heading for $4.10, and we're looking for that over the next week or so, especially while we're above recent broken resistance at $3. On to another stock which should have some capacity to fly, a bit foo-foo, and here we've got a classic saucer-shaped turnaround, and that looks as though it will then allow the shares to head up towards the top of the rising trend channel, $11.50, by the end of next month, while we remain above recent resistance on the way down, $5. Moving on to NVIX, and here a beautiful turnaround, punctuated by gaps, which is what we like to see, bear trap gap reversal there back in May, and then another gap through resistance, $14.20 resistance that we've just had now. That suggests that there's plenty more on the upside for bulls of the stock. Resistance line projection, they're heading for $25, which we're looking for as soon as the end of next month, while we remain above the recent resistance area, which was obviously through that $14 area. Moving along to a stock which has been covered here quite a lot already, Laird Superfood, and living up to its name, this looks like a mid-move bull flag. Next level up to $6.20. We're looking for that over the next 2 to 4 weeks. That's the upper parallel of the rising trend channel from back in July. And upside valid here while we remain above the $4 area. That should just about cover it. Next up is a stock which is new to us, Lightbridge, but here a nice turnaround, and looking for the shares to move towards a resistance line projection there, top of the triangle, from back in November. That is heading towards $4.50, and we're looking for that by the end of next month or much sooner. Ideally, we stay on the right side of resistance, recent resistance on the way down around $2.80. Moving up to, or moving along to a stock which is another repeat of a recent call, MediaCo, here pushing nicely towards that rather obscure rising trend channel there, $5.15. Looking for that by the end of next month or even sooner, especially while we're above the latest support for the shares around $3.20. Another stock to keep an eye on at the moment is Regis Corporation, massive gap to the upside, and here looking for further progress towards a line of resistance, which I'm destroying at the moment. That's heading towards $36, and we're looking for that by the end of next month, especially while we remain above recent resistance on the way down around $15.50. That also ties in with the old support there that we had back in March last year. Next situation is one which we have looked at a couple of weeks ago, I think, Singularity, and here we've got two triangles, a triangle within a triangle, and top of the near-term triangle, the red one there, $5.80 or so, which we're looking for over the next couple of weeks, and hoping that the shares will remain above the $4.10 area. If you're a fan of the shares and looking for greater glory, then it would be up towards $8 by the end of next month, but a bit early at the moment. TerraWolf is next, and here it's been a stock which has gapped up of late and obviously blown out the top, well, the first channel there, which was around the August resistance line level, $3.70. Above that, looking for the upper parallel of that price channel, heading for $6.40 by the end of next month. That resistance line projection there from back in April 2022, but hopefully $6.20 on the cards while we hold above the $4 area. On to the last two, and the first one here is Wide Point, where we've got a decent breakout there. We were looking for the shares to rise earlier in the autumn, but obviously there was the pullback there. Current situation is that the rising trend channel is heading towards the $4.40 area, which we're looking for over the next week or two, or even sooner, within that rising trend channel from back in January. This stage only well below the old January peak around $3.50, really delaying the upside there. Finishing off with what will hopefully be one of tomorrow's winners. We've got ZimV, and here the consolidation that we've had since the massive gap up in December, it continues, but it looks as though we may be ready to move ahead. Rising trend channel can be drawn from the turn of the year, and the top of the channel there heading towards as high as $25, which we could see over the next 1 to 2 months, especially while we remain above the 50-day moving average at $16. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.